Hello everyone, I'm Julie from Camelia Crafts Designs, and I'm here today to make some little labels, snippety bits and bobs, whatever you want to call them. All you'll need to make them is a pair of scissors and some paper. This one I've made from some packaging. I've just basically cut around the QR code, inked the edges, perhaps it needs a bit more ink to make it a little bit darker, and there we have a cute little label that we can pop on a piece of ephemera. Got this piece here. I don't think that would look out its way on there. I'd quite like it. This video's come about because someone asked me about some of the number labels I'd used, and it was this one. I made it myself. I punched a circle from some Holtz cardstock, did a little bit of background stamping on it, and then stamped a number. Hey presto, I got a label. So here we go. So it's going to help if you've got punches and you've got ink and you've got stamps, but if you don't have them, you can just look for interesting bits and bobs on junk mail and just cut things out. There we go, that'll make a lovely label. So would that. You could even just cut around that. Use your paper trimmer, use your scissors, use whatever. I will be making a lot of mine with my punches and with my stamps because I've got them, and it's handy for you to know how I did it. So let's crack on. Right, these, yeah, it spells my name. Well, it did spell my name, but then I lost an I. Oh. Luckily, it was just a letter I. I can replace it. This is a stamp set that I've had for years, and it was by Paper Mania, and that's a UK brand. But you can make it with any. You can make them with any stamps. I just happen to have them. It's a typewriter set. I know a lot of brands do them. You can pick those little wooden sets up with them, so they're perfect for making little stamps. I'm just going to go ahead and make one of these for you, and I'm going to use my eye because I need my eye to complete my set, don't I? So the first one is this, and for this I've just grabbed some scraps of cream cardstock. You can, again, use anything you want. I'm just going to grab that. I'm going to ink it in my, stamp it in my black ink. I'll move these in a minute before I ruin them all. I just want to get that eye sorted. Stamp. It's not quite as dark as others. Bob it in your ink a bit harder, missus. There you go. There we go. That's a better eye. I can see better with that eye than that eye. And I can't remember what even size punch I used. With this one, yeah, this is like just over 1/2 inch, but not quite 3/4 inch. Was it? No, I didn't use that one. I used an even smaller one. Like this one. This is 1/4 inch. Yeah, with this one. Whee. Ooh, tiddlywinks. I love a bit of tiddlywinks. And then before I put my dark ink around edge, I just grabbed some vintage photo or walnut stain Tim Holtz just to make it look a little bit old. So then I'm using the black soot Tim Holtz ink, but you can use any ink for this if you're just putting a little bit around edges. I often think it might be easier just to use your regular stamping ink. I don't know. Shall I try it? Maybe. But I'm just messing about, having fun. Where's my L gone now? Oh, I can't believe it. I've lost my L. Oh, it's there. I thought this could be never-ending then. A never-ending name. So there you go. We've now got my name. So move the name out of the way because I don't really need it. But I'll use those letters separately on projects. Right, these. Here's the one, the QR code. I thought that was brilliant to use that. So I've grabbed, I save all my junk mail. So I once did a junk mail journal where everything in it were made out of junk mail. And I do plan to do it again. So hence, I save my junk mail, all of it, every little bit. So this one, I don't like them scissors. Get your nice scissors, woman. Any scissors will do, but these are my favourites. My Timmy scissors. So I've cut that first bit out really nice. Now I'm just going to cut that bit out not so nice. And I'm just going to cut around edges. Move labels. Some tidy people have little pots to catch all the bits and bobs. I think if you've watched me for a while, you know by now, as I'm crafting, I'm so not tidy. I can get a little bit particular about how I put things away, but as I'm crafting, it's just anything goes. My floor's quite often my bin, I then just hoover it up. So, then I'm going to grab my black ink. I'm using my teeny tiny dauber. I find it a little bit easier. I get less on my fat chompy fingers. Whee. I have got big fingers. Well, I'm a tall lady. So there we go. I'll be quite happy popping that on a piece of ephemera now. I did get myself semi-organised and grab a box to put all these bits in when they're dry. So that's that one. How easy is that? That could not be easier. And if you wanted to take it to the next level, grab a stamp if you've got one. I've got some smaller postal stamps. I had, oh, look at that already. And I think I'm going to put some red on that. That'll look good. This is now going to be background for stamping. Oh, I'm so messy, look. And take it off, lid woman. There we go. That's even better now. I love it. I like it. So there's one. Now, I'm going to get some patterned cardstock and make a few more. What pattern cardstock shall we use? I'm just grabbing in my scraps, see what comes out. Oh, I've got this. Yeah, I like that as a background. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp some circles on, and then I'm going to punch them out. Let's use a stamp block for this woman. Make life a smidgen easier than you're making it already. Stay. I'm just rearranging stuff to get to my stamp blocks. Grab a block. They're all at the side of me, nice and handy. Oh, I like that. That's so handy, that, for me when I'm messy. Keeps my hands far away from the ink. So I'm going to use this stamp. And I'm going to stamp them in a couple of different colours. So I'll have a red one. Let's have another red one. I'm doing them far enough apart to be able to get my punch in. If you've got a steady hand, cut round them. Like I say, you don't need all the bits and bobs I'm using, but they do come in handy. I'm going to try a really faint one. Oh, yeah, that one's faint. Then I'm just going to rub that. I'm not going to clean it officially. There you go, that's my stamp clean. And then I'm going to do some green ones. Green, we like. Because I intend to fill a little box with these, so I've got plenty to go at when I'm decorating ephemera. There we go. We could go ahead and do some black ones, but I've already done a few black ones. And this one is perfect for my 1-inch circle punch. So I shall grab my 1-inch circle punch. These are my favourite punches. They're the EK Success ones. But I do believe that if you... Oh, bet I could not do that again. Get it to punch out and drop. Go away. Let's see if I can do it again. I have to tilt it a bit so I can see. Nah. I say I've never done that before, as far as I recall. So yeah, the same as the Stampin' Up punches. I think, I can't say for certain, but I would imagine EK Success make the punches for Stampin' Up. They're just dark grey rather than light grey, because I've got a few of them. So that's them. I mean, because I'm going to use these as labels and stick them on stuff, really don't matter what's on the other side. I've grabbed a few Project Life cards so I can make some. I think you get an idea now about how to punch them out. I'll leave that middle one for another day. It'll turn up on a video in about 6 years' time. Look at me being optimistic. I'm going to be doing videos in 6 years' time. And I'll be like, oh, wonder what I made with that. Wonder why that's there in the middle of that piece of card. Now, I'm going to go quite heavy with this black ink, 'cause then it looks like one of them labels that has a border. Okay, I like that. I'd be happy to plonk that on any project. Let's see if I can get into groove with this ink in circular stamps. If you can get into groove, this spin round for you. There we go. Get into the groove. That Madonna? Yeah. Wow, showing my age there, aren't I? For me, Madonna is not retro. Madonna was my youth. So you get an idea with them, so they can be inked later. Whee! Right, now, let's make some with... Now these, I punched the circles before I put the numbers on. Excuse me, I've been made it wet this week and I'm still a bit... So I like the fact that they're a bit off-centre. So I'm going to bring this piece of card back and I'm just going to punch some random circles. What's chances of one landing in ink? I don't know. Whee. Whee. You don't need that sound effect. People go on about the fact that I say wee all the time, and I honestly am not aware that I start doing it. Then I realise and I'm like, oops. That comes from crafting with kids, I'm sure it does. Or maybe I'm just a bit mad in the head. So that's that. I'm going to ink this. You could stamp it or ink it first. It doesn't really matter. And then I do have some number stamps somewhere, but can I find them? Can I find them? So I will be using part of some of these Tim Holtz. This is the Field Notes set of stamps. If you've not seen it before, this is it. It's my absolute favourite. Sorry for glaring. I'll put these details in description. I've had a few people recently say they can't find things on my Amazon storefront, so I have started putting the individual items listed. Not everything, just the things that I tend to get asked for a lot. So I have this roll of low-tack tape. Use the sticky bit off a sticky note if you don't have a roll of low-tack tape. In fact, I could do with using that because I like using this for my dies and it's getting a bit low. And I'm going to cover up the numbers I don't want. This is one way of doing it. I'll show you a winging it, seat your pants type of way as well. So then I can ink up my number 34, take my tape off. It's 43, not 34. I'm looking at it upside down. Come in, number 9, your time is up. Oh, it's number 6 that's capsized. That's an old joke, but it had to be done when I did that. So we've got 43 there. Another thing you could do is, if you're really confident that you can just ink up that part of your stamp, let's see if I can do that. Or if you don't care that you get smudge next to it, which to be honest, don't bother me much. I don't know why I'm using it upside down because, there you go. So I didn't need my tape there. I will then ink that when that's dried because my hands are already manky enough, as we say. Or scruffy enough. I think I'm going to try the other number now. I've just put my knuckle in ink pad. Oh my word. Of course I did. If you ever wondered why you don't see me do a lot of really, projects with ink and paint and stuff, this is why. This really is why. I am a bit, Oh, that's like, I like it on the smaller one. The number fits lovely. Let's have another couple of number 30s, and then I'm going to change stamps and do a different number. I just think it's fun, this. As you notice, I keep using the same bit of tape. On this one, I don't want to ink that bit up, but I'm just going to... Oh, I hear cats arguing outside. 2 ticks. Yeah, just needed to check if it were my cat out there, being a little pain. Oh, she can be very vicious. She can. I think you've seen that with me. Right, I'm going to try and ink that up without inking that number up at top. Because it would be so much more difficult to put another piece of tape on, wouldn't it? Yes, of course it would. It wouldn't really. I'm just going to stamp on this now because I'm getting ink on my table. And it's just going to all be a mess. But it is fun. That's terrible, woman. That's terrible. Put another piece of tape on and stamp it like you mean it. Right, I've just had that tape in my hand 2 seconds ago and already, here it is. I thought I'd lost it. Yeah, there's lots of people who do digital labels that you can print out and use. I just think it's fun to have a go like this sometimes. That's why that went wrong. I forgot to take tape off. I'm thinking about Cat now. Calm down, your cat's fine. It wasn't her arguing. It was some random cats. Your daughter's on the job now, out looking for her in case it was her. Crack on. Right, I've took tape off this time. Might stamp a bit better. I mean, that one, I can stamp something else on it. All is not lost. I mean, we wouldn't want to lose a piece of paper that size, would we? But to the end of the world. Oh, it flipped. Tiddlywinks, here we come. There we go. 19. So, yeah, there we go. It's easier if you've got the stamps like that. Oh, we could cover each edge up now, couldn't we, and have a number 40. Yeah, let's have a number 40. Or if you can find your number stamps, your life's going to be even easier than this. Oh, I don't know whether this will work because the ink on the number 3 and the number 3 might not be dry yet, but we shall see. Oh, use that one that you've inked edge on. Let's see what occurs. Oh no, it's not 40, it's 04. I'm doing it again. Come in number 9. Oh, it's number 6 capsized. I'll stop with that joke now. I'll stop reading things upside down. That's got enough ink on now. I'm going to bin it. I'll use a different bit next time. Right, I'll just be really good and put lid on that. Let's just ink edge on a couple of these. And like I say, if you want to then stamp over with something else, you can. Oh, I've just heard Kat's bell jingling. She's back in. Safe and sound. Excuse me shouting. Is she alright? She okay? Does she look okay? Does she look okay?
Yeah, she's walking around and eating.
Oh. Yeah, Kat's back in. She's eating. She's fine. Minxy little monstrel. Yeah. She's like, Phoebe was my last cat, with a kind of cat who only ever went in garden. She was quite happy just defending her garden. No, Nala's like, look at all them other gardens. I'm going to have a piece of that pie. Yeah. She's a minx. So we only let her out in daylight hours for a couple of hours. If you're in US and you're like, ooh, don't let your cats out, it is a little bit different in UK. We don't have the predators that you have over in USA. Cats kind of rule the roost. There we go. So, ooh, look at all them numbers I've got now. And that's all while I was talking. Just imagine how fabulous they'd be if I shut up and got on with it. I'm going to just give my hands a little bit of a clean look at state. I'm like a child when it comes to using ink and stuff. My word. Right. So let's make a different type. Right, this time I'm going to use I've got a label punch. Not everyone would have this label punch, but even if you don't have this punch, you can still make this label. So I've gone ahead and punched some out ready. Ta-da! Ta-da! I wanted to make the most of my piece of card to punch these from. Look, I kept repositioning it, and yeah, I did. So, whee! That's the one. Right. And these are going to be perfect for something like these longer labels. So let's do some actual words in some different colours. I think I'm going to do some of that in green. My green is one of them little Memento dewdrop inks. I don't, apart from the distress inks, I don't tend to buy a lot of inks in colours because I don't use them a lot. I don't use my distress inks a lot these days. I used them more when I was a card maker, to be honest. Let's find a nice piece of paper as a background. I'm going to use this. I don't know that. Send my eyes do lally that well. It's checked. I don't like using bright white card as a background. It sends my camera a bit squiffy. That'll do. That'll do. So, yeah, that's. Oh, look at that. It's tri-coloured, dye-coloured. It's 2 colours. I know what I'm trying to say. That's because I've had my ink in the green and I've had my ink in the black. I'm going to do that one again because that's a bit dodgy. That's still a bit dodgy, but I like it. Ooh. Yeah, let's do a black one now. I'm very naughty, contaminating my ink pads with other colours. Yeah. Oh, probably make some people shiver when they watch me. But hey ho, it's my stuff. I will abuse it, use it in however ways I please. Right. It's going to have some black edges. I think this one's going to need dirtying up a bit. It just looks too clean and perfect. Look at the state of my fingers. I could try holding it with a pair of tweezers, but I suspect that might go horribly wrong. Yeah, there we go. Do do do. Do do do. Do 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 do. That's it. They can get inked up at a later date. I were making a pile of things to ink at a later date. And then I could... And I think that might look nice with that over. There you go. And I like that because it's really faint. I could even put some more there. Ooh, look at that. So there we have some benefit in not cleaning your stamps because I've got that lovely pale impression that I quite like. You can do that with text stamp, with whatever. That's good. Again, I'd be happy to put that on any project. Filthy fingers. Now, if you don't have this shape of stamp, you can make it. Now, this one, I think I'm going to make it. I only made one big one. Margareth at 7 Plaza's done a whole video on making labels like this. So, grab a piece of, what's this I've got? Yeah, I'm just reaching over to the side in my scraps. Oh, that's a piece, that was a piece of pile folder. It weren't pile folder, it was file folder. Yeah, that's the one I used before. So yeah, I'm going to back that on that one, I've done it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do this in brown. I just want some brown around the edge of this. That's walnut stain. I'm going to mucky that up a bit. I've got a teeny tiny little text stamp here that I absolutely love. Again, this was came from Paper Mania back in the day. And I'm going to use Vintage Sepia for this, which is a lighter colour. Or, as you saw me do on the last one, just stamp your stamp off onto something else and then it will be much paler if you're using black. I did that quite straight, but hey. And along the top, I'm going to use some black and I'm going to use a long, thin label. Let's get a different one out. You keep using the same ones, woman. Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Ooh, we've got one that says Fig 1 and Fig 2. I don't like figs at all, so I won't be eating Fig 1 or Fig 2. Boom, boom. Sorry, jokes get worse, don't they? No, I want a number. I want a nice big bold number in black across the top. Yeah, I probably would keep my fingers cleaner if I stuck my stamps on blocks and stopped sticking my hand in like this, but hey ho. I like that. And I could put that there. No, because then it says no twice. That would look a bit dodgy. I'm going to get a different circular stamp. I do have more than one. It'd be a bit boring to keep using the same one, wouldn't it? What's that? Oh, that says no on it again. Oh, what's that? I'm not putting these in full view because it's a bit glary. I like that one. That says received. What did my other one say then? I've lost it. Where's it gone? It's on a stamp block somewhere on my desk. There's probably people going, it's there, it's there. It could be anywhere. I've no idea. So it's, oh, it's there. It's not on a stamp block. Oh, that one says factory made. Yeah. So we've got that now. I've just gone off on world's biggest tangent now, haven't I? Now, do I want red or green? I think I'm going to go for green because that one were red. That one, if you look, I cut that from a calendar or a diary page and it says Thursday 18, so that were already on. Now that one, there we go. And you could then even put another little stamp on there. What will that look like? No, it's too many round things. Don't like. Me no likey. What about that? Yeah, I could put that on there. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to do it because I like that. I'm going to do this with my glue sticks. It's rather thin paper, so it might get ever so wrinkly if I use my art glitter glue. Whee. There we go. going to put it near the bottom. Yeah. Oh, I quite like that. And it's good for juggling with. So then I'm going to grab my piece of craft paper. Oh, I've found my original piece that we're already cut into, so I'll use the original. And I'm going to stick this on first, but I do think it needs a bit more dark round. I know I did it with brown and now I've changed my mind and gone black. And I've done it quite messily. Hey, hey, what's new? What's new with me? Whee. Me likey. This one I'm going to stick on with my art glitter glue because it's a little bit thicker, it's more heavyweight, it's cardstock. And where's the glue? There it is. Oh, I love to craft in a mess. I was watching Melina over at me Crafty Scrapper do her scrapbuster this week, and she was talking about how to keep your desk tidy. I'm like, yeah, I really need to start listening to you, but I'm fun. As we say around here, I'm happy as a pig in muck. We don't quite say muck, but I think you can work that one out for yourselves. That's not straight, that corner. So that's going to really send me off. Got to have a bit of straightness. Got me too wonky all the time. And that. Now I'm going to be very brave and cut this with my scissors. There we go. There we go. Now you could quite happily leave that like so. But if you've got a teeny tiny circle punch, that's so cute. You can come in and you can mirror that shape. If you've got one of those ticket punctures, that does it fabulously as well. Choose what you've got. You could use the end of an oval punch. It's just a bit, adapt what you've got in your stash, or you'll end up with far too much stuff like roasters do. Whee. I keep saying it again and again. I now think, before I buy something, how often will I use it? How many uses will it have? Is it worth it? Because you can only have so many things, or you're going to end up having, yeah, your house is going to look like Michael's or Joanne's or Hobbycraft or wherever he lives. Do I want to do that in brown? I think I do. Yeah, I'm going to do it in brown. Get your brown ink out, kid. Whee. Yeah, it's just made the brown more brown. I like that. That's going to show up lovely. I think I like that better than my first one. But I think you're getting an idea by now, aren't you? Play and mess and do. Right. I've got this... just got this really unruly pile of stuff that I've made. A really unruly pile of stamps. I've just got a very unruly desk. But I like it. Yeah, I like that one better than that one. I just do. I don't know why. I think that needs some kind of label. I would like to put one of those teeny tiny Timmy labels on there that looks like one of those Denison label shapes. I don't know. I might leave that. Just leave it. Stop it. Stop faffing. Crack on, make something else. I do like the Fig 1, Fig 2 stamp. Right, another thing I've done. I'm going to get... That's made from a page in a old diary. So I'm going to grab that old diary. This old diary gets used for all sorts. Look. I've punched some out of there. I've punched flower shapes out of there. I've punched quite a few flower shapes out. But we can just... Let's get a sheet. Rip a sheet out, woman. One sheet. Put the diary down. Right. Now, this one, I just went in with my paper trimmer. I do have a square punch, but it don't get far enough into the page for my liking. It only gets things that are really near edge. So, I went in like so. And I just might as well go away. I just cut myself a little label. I'll cut a bit off that edge, don't need it. So there we have a label. I know it's not quite as small and cute as others, especially not since I've left more of a border on than I did with the first one, but I think you get the idea. Oh yeah, I'm going to go a bit of brown, then I'm going to put a bit of black on top. I like that double-edged look. Yeah, then a bit of black. I mean, if you don't want this so thin, you could then back it onto the edge of something else. Do you know what? I'm going to try using just a black ink rather than my Distress Oxide for this, than my Distress ink for this, because it's bleeding quite a lot on some of this thin paper. If you don't mind that look, all well and good, but I might not always be after it. Yes. And then you could even grab a pen if I've got any pens left. My kids are really good at borrowing my pens. Here we go. My daughter gave me another one of her fine liners after the last one. Yeah. Came to a sad end. There you go. I might want to underline that one, and I might want to cross out the first couple of days. There we go. I like that. Right, another thing I can then do with that same diary page I've got here, you can just punch things out of the lined bits, and then you've got a lovely background. It can be a bit difficult sometimes to punch paper that's really thin, so pop a bit of card behind, something that you don't need or want. And I think I'm going to do a, shall I do a label one? No, I'm just going to do a round one. Do a round one, woman. And do a bigger round one than that. Yeah, I'm going to do a bigger round one than that. Do your 1 inch. Whee. So we've got 2 now. That can be used for a string button closure on something, so that can go in my tub of circles. Then we've got that. I'm gonna get a new ink blender out, and I'm going to try doing the edge with bog standard archival ink. See what happens. I can't, it's not going to go wrong, is it? It's not going to be a world-ending moment, is it? But, oh, I'm just going to have a whirl. So, aha. Grab a new handle. I'm not going to use my posh domed Timmy Holtz ones. I'm going to use my bog standard cheapy flat ones. Right. There we go. I mean, I could be brave and just go straight in with ink pad, but I ain't that brave. Ooh, I want my circle back now. Also, when that's papery, if you put something stiffer behind, it can help you ink those edges. I actually do like this better than using the black soot Distress ink, so that'll save some coin. If you're thinking you need the black soot Distress ink to do edges, I think that's, not only is it just as good, I think it's done it better. I could just rub it around the edge. So let's not forget the Distress inks aren't just for colouring up your edges. They've got properties that are designed to do many other things. Go, we'll have a look at Tim. He'll remember his own properties. I don't. I have to look that kind of stuff up before I do it. Let's make sure I remember what I'm doing. That's really nice. Look. Yeah. So that one was done with archival. That one was done with black soot. I like that better. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to re-ink that one with black soot. Grab a piece of card. That'll do. That'll do. Also, something I've noticed, when the Distress Oxide inks bleed, when you mix the black with the brown, sometimes you get a green. If you want that, all well and good. Sometimes I don't want it. I did try doing some earlier with the ground espresso, and I did find that ground espresso It started off looking really dark brown. Then when you'd only got a bit of ink left on your dauber, it started to look green. Now, that could be that my ground espresso is old. I've had it quite a few years. I really don't know. I'll show you. This is what I did. Oh, just go away. Right, that were ground espresso. This is supposed to be a dark brown ink. Then I started rubbing more off my ink pad and I got that colour, which to me looks like a green. Is it a greeny ink? I don't know. Has it gone off? I don't know. If anyone's got ground espresso, I'd really be interested to know. And then it goes to that colour. Now that's green to me. That is green. But I like it. I really do like it. I'll make use of it. That's very strange. Very strange. Anyway, I digress and start waffling about something completely different to what I started off talking about. So, let's get rid of that. That's not a label. These are labels that we've made. And that one. Right, what am I going to do on that one? Right, if you look at this, I love that big number. Like I said, I can't find my big number stamps. So what I have done is I've grabbed another one of my books that I often use for inking on and gluing on, and it's one of my word search books. I've got them all piled up here. Grab it. Here we go. And you can see what I've done. It's got a page number at top of some pages. So, and because my punch wouldn't go in far enough, I've just trimmed a bit at top of page off. I didn't even bother ripping this out because this is my book that I glue stuff on. And then I grabbed my circle punch. I've got quite a lot of circle punches and I've been building my stash up over a lot of years. But I do think they're well worth investment. Now again, this is rather thin paper. So I did that, yes I did. I put a bit of card behind. That always helps if you're punching rather thin paper. Ooh. Maybe that card were a bit thick. Oh, woo, that one went, didn't it? And it's back. There we go. So, I'm just going to mucky. I've got all these ink daubers out now. Something's going to go wrong somewhere along the line. I'm going to pick the wrong one up and dip it at the wrong thing. I actually thought that's what I'd done when my ground espresso were looking a bit green around gills. But no, that's just how it was. Right, I'm going to put a bit more black on edge of that. This is, it's quite cheap paper, so you do get a bit of bleeding on this anyway, I think, regardless of ink you use. There we go. It's not too defined, but there's a bit of definition there. I like it. Let's glue the top of it. Whee. I've made it a little bit straight with my lines. Woo, pick it up, pick it up. Just need to adjust that smidgen to get it in middle. That's in middle enough. And I really like that. So that's how I did those. That one I've done with paper. That one I actually did on a piece of cardstock. But you can use any. That one I've used an oval punch for. I've just punched out a section. That's this punch. I've punched out a section from a piece of cardstock. Let's make one of those. What we got hanging about in the scrap box. What's this? Oh, here we go. That. In fact, I've not cut the edges off that. So look at that. We don't want their web address. I just don't want the web address. Ooh, a barcode. That's a good idea, but I think this punch is far better suited to it. Watch. Oh yeah, look at that. Whee! Ooh, either side of that is good now. So yeah, even the strips along top of your designer papers. I'm going to make another one while I've had that idea. I might forget I had that idea when I've had a sleep. Whee! Me like it. So, grab something else for your other one, woman. You didn't like that. all my paper on that side is plain. Let's come to this side, see what we've got. It's all a bit plain. Let's grab some junk mail instead then. What we've got in our junk mail section, or book page section. Ooh, this is, I'll tell you what I've got here. These are some index pages from a street map. Yeah, so that'll look good. I'm going to have to take a bit off. I'm going to rip that off because I'll make something else with that. Because the edge of that has got a lovely bit of aging on. Oh, excuse me. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to do this. I think this is thick enough for me to just go straight in with my punch. There we go. Ooh, I like how that will have those on and then those. Just mess, have fun, play with different things. I'm really liking the archiver link to go around the edge of things now, rather than my Tim Holtz Distress Oxide one. So, yeah, just adapt, use what you've got. You very rarely need exactly what you see people use. It's a good way to learn, though, using exactly what they use if you want to. We just, let's be honest, Julie, we all do it. I do it sometimes. I'll see somebody make something, I think I must have the exact papers, the exact tools, the exact everything. We just do. If you can afford that, go for it. If you can't, there are always ways around it. Just going to ink that, what we just punched as well. Then, one more I wanted to do. Yeah, I just want to make some more with the diary pages. So, look at that. Oh, I can't pick that up. Let's use that bit of paper to try and get it up. There we go. Yeah, I want to mucky that up a bit again. There we go. Then it looks a bit older. And I think I'm going to print something across the middle. I like that one. Do I want to do it in black? No, I'm going to do it in... What should we do it in? Green. That was a big decision, that, wasn't it? I might have to go and have a lie down now. There we go. I quite like that. Do you want to put that on anything else while I'm at it? Yeah, I'm going to... Ooh! I even got some labels out. And I've not needed to use any pre-made labels. Because there's enough here, isn't there? There we go. The Tim Holtz stamp sets are brilliant. You could just stamp the whole stamp set on a sheet of paper and cut them up. Right. Bit of ink on the edge of that. Oh, I've grabbed the wrong ink again. Don't matter. I'm using my Tim Holtz Black Soot Distress ink on that one. And I'm going to come in again with this because I think it gives me a bit more definition and bleeds less. There we go. Right. The last one I wanted to make. Grab my piece of diary page. Oh, have I used a piece of diary page that didn't have a day on top? No, there it is. And here it is. Grab any punch you want. I'm going to do... I think I might just use my round label punch, see whether it'll fit. No. Will my oval punch fit that? I never thought of doing an oval on that before. Why won't that go in? It's not that thick. Come on. Stop being a pain. There we go. It would have had I not folded that over as much as I did. So unfold it. Put a bit of card behind it. Cut it just there. Ooh. Whee! Again, I absolutely love that one. And if you want to make these into dangles, then just glue it on that bit of card. It doesn't have to even be a label, does it? Dip that in a bit more ink. So, yeah, I've had fun with those. Get your stuff out, see what you've got. Get rummaging through your recycling bin. Your indoor one. if you like me, I have an indoor recycling bin and an outdoor one. When indoor one's full, it just all gets took out at once to outdoor one. Yeah, I like that. So let's see what we've made. I know I've had fun. Yeah, these are some labels I didn't get round to using. I've seen other people do videos on this. I think Corey Damon did a really good one. Yeah, if you've already got the labels, then just do all your stamping and bits and bobs on the label. Right, let's see what we've ended up with. There's all sorts all over desk here, isn't there? I've definitely got a much bigger pile of labels than I had when I started. Oh, that one there, that was just a bird stamp. I just stamped it and cut a square around it. Oh, yeah, if you've got square punches, use those. I really like these. That's a good one. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it's inspired you to mess with your stuff. Yeah, that was just the word February on the diary that I've punched round. So, there we have it. I've got a nice little stash of bits and bobs that are very handy for putting on little bits of ephemera. I will link any tools that I've used, and I will also link any videos and other creators that I've mentioned in my description for you. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.